Imagine meeting a man who seemed to operate on a wavelength entirely his own. Not because he's trying to defy norms or make a statement, but simply because that's how he's wired. He doesn't clamor for the spotlight, yet somehow people find themselves curious about him, even drawn to his presence without quite knowing why. Status and recognition don't fuel his actions, but the respect he earns is undeniable and seemingly effortless. He's perfectly content in his own company, finding peace and clarity in solitude, yet when the moment calls for it, he can navigate social settings with ease. This intriguing blend of self-reliance, quiet strength, and social adaptability is the essence of the Sigma male, an elusive and often misinterpreted figure in the spectrum of male personalities. Perhaps you've crossed paths with such a man before, or maybe, without fully realizing it, you share these qualities yourself. Unlike the alpha male who thrives on leadership and dominance, or the beta male who finds security in following established rules, the Sigma male stands apart from this hierarchy altogether. He forges his own route, guided by an inner compass rather than external approval, moving through life with understated confidence and a firm grasp of his identity. But what exactly sets him apart from everyone else? Why do so many misunderstand his actions or mistake his independence for aloofness? And which traits form the foundation of his enigmatic personality? 1. The intellectual rebel, a mind that defies conformity. The man who asks the unasked questions. Imagine sitting in a boardroom or classroom where the speaker's words are met with a sea of nodding heads, everyone echoing approval as of agreement with the safest currency. The flaws in the argument are visible, yet no one dares to challenge them. Then there's that one man, calm, collected, and entirely unshaken, who raises his hand and voices a question everyone else avoided. His intention is not to stir conflict or attract attention. Rather, he truly perceives the world through a different lens. He refuses to swallow ideas without first dissecting them, examining every piece before deciding whether they hold weight. This is a quiet but powerful rebellion of the Sigma male's intellect, the psychology behind independent thinking. Traditional personality models often sort men into neat categories: alphas, the dominant leaders, and betas, the compliant followers. But the Sigma male exists in a category of his own, beyond this hierarchy. He neither seeks to command nor submits to direction. Instead, he operates within a mental framework uniquely his, filtering every piece of information through his personal reasoning, unclouded by the collective sway of popular opinion. From a young age, this trait often manifests as a natural curiosity and skepticism. Think back to the child in school who constantly questioned the teacher, not to be disruptive, but because that's just the way things are wasn't enough of an answer. That child was, more often than not, a Sigma in the making. Cognitive dissonance and social nonconformity. When most people find themselves holding beliefs that conflict with those of their group, they experience cognitive dissonance, an uncomfortable tension between truth and belonging. To resolve it, they often choose conformity over discomfort. But the Sigma male is wired differently. He can sit with that discomfort, weigh it carefully, and still choose his own reasoning over the comfort of agreement. To the outside world, this steadfastness can look like stubbornness or arrogance. In reality, it's a refusal to compromise intellectual integrity for social acceptance. The hidden strength of independent thought. Throughout history, progress has rarely come from those who agree with the crowd. Groundbreaking scientists, visionary entrepreneurs, revolutionary philosophers, many share the Sigma-like trait of standing alone in their convictions until time proved them right. The Sigma male does not dismiss ideas merely to be contrary. He challenges them only after careful scrutiny and rejection of flawed logic. In a world where echo chambers are the norm, this level of mental independence is rare and deeply valuable. 2. The lone wolf mentality. Alone but not a loner. The art of comfortable solitude. Picture a Sigma male at a party or social event. He arrives on his own, greets a few people, and engages in thoughtful, focused conversations with those who capture his interest. There's no attempt to command a room or gather a crowd. There's no need for it. When the night ends, he leaves quietly without needing to announce his departure. This is not detachment, it is choice. The Sigma male thrives in a state where independence outweighs the need for constant companionship. Autonomous self-regulation, The Sigma's emotional independence. Psychologists call this trait autonomous self-regulation, the ability to manage one's emotional stability without relying on the validation of others. While many feel safest when anchored to a group's approval, the Sigma male draws his strength inward. Solitude, to him, is not an empty space to be filled, but a sanctuary where his thoughts can stretch and breathe. The lone wolf analogy, a perfect fit. In nature, lone wolves can merge with the pack when conditions make it advantageous, but they are equally adept at hunting, surviving, and thriving alone. The Sigma male operates in much the same way, capable of integrating seamlessly into groups when necessary, yet never leaning on them for his sense of self-worth. His independence is not a wall, but a door he chooses to open selectively. The misinterpretation of solitude. In a society that often equates being alone with being lonely, the Sigma's preference for solitude is easily misunderstood. Some label him cold, detached, or socially withdrawn. But the truth is far different. His self-sufficiency is rooted in deep self-assurance, not emotional isolation. He doesn't need the constant hum of companionship to feel whole. The paradox of attraction. Ironically, this very detachment makes him magnetic. His ease with himself creates an aura of mystery that draws people in, even as he retains the freedom to walk away at any moment. When he does form connections, they are not built on convenience or obligation, but on genuine, meaningful interaction. For the Sigma male, relationships are not about constant proximity. They are about rare and authentic moments where two paths meet with purpose. 3. The obsession with freedom unshackled by design. Freedom as a core need. For the Sigma male, freedom is not a luxury or an occasional indulgence. It is a non-negotiable foundation of his life. It runs deeper than mere preference, woven into the very fabric of his identity. He must have control over his own time, his choices, and the direction his life takes. Any situation that begins to feel restrictive, whether in career, relationships, or lifestyle, is met with instinctive resistance. This need for personal liberty isn't a passing phase or youthful idealism. It is his natural state of existence. Career choices, independence over prestige. In the professional world, this deep-rooted need for freedom shapes the Sigma male's path. Many find themselves drawn to careers where self-direction is the rule rather than the exception. They often gravitate toward entrepreneurship, freelancing, consulting, or remote work, not because they are chasing prestige or a lavish paycheck, but because they refuse to live under the shadow of rigid corporate hierarchies. For a Sigma, earning slightly less in exchange for greater autonomy is not a sacrifice, it's a victory. The title on his business card matters far less than the ability to decide how, when, and where he works. Relationships, no chains, only choice. In his personal life, the Sigma male applies the same principle. He is not allergic to commitment, but he is deeply allergic to control. Clingy partners, possessive friends, and overbearing family members quickly find themselves at a distance. He values connection, but only when it is chosen freely, not forced or guilt-driven. He would rather walk away from a relationship that looks perfect on the surface than remain in one that feels like a cage. For him, love thrives only when paired with mutual respect for independence. Freedom versus responsibility. It's important to understand that this desire for freedom is not an escape from responsibility. In fact, Sigma males are often remarkably dependable, capable of handling significant commitments and challenges. The key difference is that they take on responsibilities by choice, not by coercion. When a Sigma commits to a project, a cause, or a person, he does so wholeheartedly, but only because it aligns with his values and sense of purpose. His loyalty runs deep, but it will never be born from obligation. It must be chosen. 4. The independent thinker, a mind that connects unseen dots. The private mental laboratory. Inside the mind of a Sigma male lies a space that operates much like a private research lab. While many people form their beliefs and opinions based on what their friends, families, or communities think, the Sigma prefers to process information in solitude. Every idea, every claim, and every piece of advice is brought into this internal workshop, where it is broken apart, examined from multiple angles, and tested for truth. Only when it passes his personal filter of logic and evidence will he adopt it, seeing what others miss. This unique way of thinking allows the Sigma to notice patterns and connections that others often overlook. He might watch the same film as everyone else but pick up on a subtle symbol or underlying theme that others never see. He might read the same news article yet come away with entirely different questions that cut deeper than the surface narrative. His mind doesn't just absorb information. It rearranges and reinterprets it in ways that lead to fresh insights. The loneliness of independent thought. However, thinking differently comes with its own challenges. The Sigma often feels like he's walking slightly out of rhythm with the rest of the world. Conversations that hinge on conventional wisdom can leave him feeling detached, even frustrated, as he wonders why others fail to question obvious inconsistencies. This intellectual independence can be isolating, but it is also the source of his greatest strength, his ability to stand apart from the noise and see truth where others see only the familiar, the power of unconventional thinking. History has shown that genuine breakthroughs rarely come from the safety of the herd. Innovation belongs to those willing to break the mold, challenge assumptions, and imagine new possibilities. The Sigma male's mind is in constant motion, analyzing, questioning, reframing, seeking not just to understand the world, but to see beyond its accepted limits. It is this quiet, relentless pursuit of clarity that allows him to solve problems in ways others never consider, making his way of thinking not only rare, but profoundly impactful. 5. Quiet confidence, the strength that doesn't shout, the calm that commands attention. There's a certain type of man who can step into a room and, without uttering a single word, draw the attention of everyone present. He doesn't need to make grand entrances or raise his voice to be noticed. His presence alone speaks volumes. This is the Sigma male's quiet confidence, a strength that doesn't demand recognition but naturally commands it. There's no posturing, no exaggerated gestures, no craving for validation. His confidence radiates inward first, grounded in an unshakable belief in who he is and what he stands for. Self-acceptance as a foundation. While many build their self-esteem like a fragile structure dependent on the applause and approval of others, the Sigma male's self-worth is anchored in self-awareness. He has taken the time to know himself deeply, his abilities, his flaws, his limitations, and he has made peace with them all. This acceptance is what allows him to move through the world without constantly seeking reassurance. He doesn't have to prove anything, because he already knows where he stands. The mark of true assurance. The way this confidence manifests is subtle but unmistakable. He makes decisions swiftly and with conviction, rarely succumbing to paralysis of overthinking. When he speaks, he does so with intention, often choosing his words carefully so that each one carries weight. He's comfortable with silence, allowing pauses to work in his favor rather than rushing to fill them. And when he doesn't know something, he admits it without embarrassment. Because true confidence isn't about pretending to know it all, but about being secure enough to acknowledge what you don't. It's this authenticity, free from performance, that makes his quiet strength magnetic. 6. The adaptable chameleon, fluent in every social language. The man who fits in everywhere. One of the Sigma male's most underestimated abilities is his remarkable adaptability in social situations. He can navigate diverse environments with ease, engaging in thought-provoking debates with intellectuals, sharing grounded conversations with blue-collar workers, or blending effortlessly into high-level corporate circles. The key is that he doesn't put on an act. He doesn't become someone else to fit in. Rather, he allows different facets of his authentic self to emerge naturally, depending on the setting. Mastery of social dynamics. Where others might feel out of place or struggle to adjust, the Sigma male reads the subtle cues of a room almost instinctively. He notices body language, tone shifts, and unspoken rules that guide interaction. In one environment, he may be direct and assertive. In another, measured and observant. This flexibility is not about manipulation. It's about alignment. He adapts to the rhythm of each social setting without losing his own tempo. Adaptation without compromise. The beauty of the Sigma male's adaptability is that it never comes at the cost of his principles. He may shift the way he communicates, adjusting tone, language, or approach, but the core of his beliefs remains untouchable. This rare balance, fluid enough to thrive in any circle yet grounded enough to remain himself, is one of his ultimate strengths. It allows him to connect with a wide range of people while still maintaining his autonomy. proving that versatility and authenticity can coexist in perfect harmony. Conclusion: the Sigma male's place in the world. The Sigma male is neither a flawed version of society's ideal nor a higher, untouchable archetype. He is simply different. His life is shaped by an unshakable desire for independence, a deep respect for intellectual honesty, and an unwavering commitment to walking his own path. He moves through the world guided not by the need for approval, but by the clarity of his own convictions. In a society that often celebrates volume over depth, spectacle over substance, the Sigma male's quiet strength serves as a subtle but powerful counterpoint, a living reminder that real influence doesn't always announce itself with noise. His power lies in the fact that he doesn't need to dominate to be effective, nor conform to be accepted. He is proof that you can exist outside the traditional hierarchy and still leave a profound mark, not by playing the game harder than others, but by choosing to play a different game entirely. Whether you see these qualities reflected in your own personality or in someone you know, one truth remains constant. The Sigma male will continue to navigate life by his own compass, succeeding on his own terms, and shaping his world without ever needing to bend to it. Do these ideas resonate with you? If you found yourself nodding along or reflecting deeply on the traits and experiences we explored in this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts. The Sigma male mindset isn't often talked about openly, and your perspective, whether you identify with it personally or have encountered in others, adds valuable depth to the conversation. Drop a comment below and let me know which part hit home the most for you. Have you seen these traits in yourself or someone you know? Your insights help build a community where authenticity and growth are prioritized over popularity and performance. If you're drawn to this kind of introspective, no-nonsense content around Sigma males, psychological strength, emotional intelligence, and high-value living, there's more waiting for you. Explore the other videos on this channel for deeper dives, actionable insights, and raw truths that cut through the noise. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay grounded, and stay unapologetically real. Until next time.